Hello everybody, today we're gonna look at an opening for with white pieces where your opponent is totally taken out of their comfort zone, even at my level at 2200. So if you're low rated, learn this opening, because you can play it for the rest of your life, even at the Grandmaster level it's played. It's the English opening, and I will show you the lines. There are a couple of main lines: the symmetrical English, the reverse Sicilian with e4, and the knight coming out and playing the Queen's Gambit declined. And there are the Indian setups, but I will explain them in another video. So first we go over the reverse Sicilian, the most combative move. So here we develop the knight, and it's standard that both sides develop both knights. So this is the four knights English. And here there are two moves, G3 and E3, and I recommend the move E3. And now black has a couple of choices. They can try to strike in the center immediately with d4, or they can play it very slow with bishop e7, or they can go a bit more aggressive with the bishop to b4. So let's say they go completely passive, just to show our plans. Here we also develop our bishop, ready to castle, they castle, we castle, and our idea is to play this move d4. That is the idea in all the positions. And here they can also play d4, but those lines will transpose in the line d4, which I will show you next. So let's say they play d3, opening up their bishop. We can already play this move. And here they can take, for example, but now we have the whole center. We can play rook e1, get our bishop out, because this pawn was blocking our bishop. So he just helped us. So this is a very good position. For white, an example line is this: we can come out to make space for the king, they draw back, we develop our bishop, rook to e1, rook to e8, rook to e1, develop the queen because you want to get the queen in the game, and then we can develop our queen and play it slow with something like this, which is totally reasonable. We can also play queen to c1, also fine. So let's go to c1 to keep an eye on this position. They might bring the other rook, we bring the other rook, and they can play d4. But just look at this position. It's so much better for white because we have central space, all our pieces are out. And what our idea is in this position: maybe jump with the knight to go to this side, maybe take space on the queen side. We can also try to play this move. It does give away this square, but he will be forever cramped in this position. We can also play a simple move like knight to e2, trading off the bishop, doubling the rooks. Just a good position for white. So that's why they shouldn't take. They can push, attacking our knight, we draw back, we are threatening to take it. Only move to defend it is this, because if they play d4 we just take, and nothing is defended anymore. So bishop to c4, queen to c2, and now we are guaranteed actually to win this pawn, because we have 3 takers and he has 2. There is maybe a little trap, but it's not really a trap, but just be aware that this is possible. So now we take, and oh no, our queen is pinned, and he attacks it another time. We can just get ourselves unpinned, defend the knight, move the knight, or a more ambitious move, f3. So if they take, we get a big center, which is very nice. And if they put even more pressure, then we gotta do this. But if they take, we can take with the bishop, taking this pawn, but we can also just go for this very nice big center. Play our bishop here, get the rook in the game, and play d5. Maybe get the queen over and just have an attacking game for the rest of the game. So pushing is bad, so they should just do nothing with this pawn, which is a bit counterintuitive, I think, because it is just defended. They just do nothing, they do this. I always like to chase for one time to get a loft for the king. And here we can play a lot of moves. We can even play this move. I think that's nice here, because the bishop is blocking his way back. So he kinda has to undevelop. We can play this move, and this is just amazing. They can go here, showing the move is knight over there. We can develop our knight here, bishop here or here, doesn't really matter, or we can play a simple move. If they go here, Ba3 Bf5, Not right now because the pawn is hanging, I'm sorry. So if they move here, we go here, defending the pawn with the rook. Now they may play a5 to stop this, but we have knight g4 ideas, bishop, queen, very nice position. So let's see, that's if they play the passive move. What if they play the more active move? We take, we don't take back, we can just play something like this, or even I like this also, just bishop here. If they take, we take like this, and if they develop, we castle, we play d4, and we get the same structure. And I will learn you a bit more about this position in the Queen's Gambit declined variation. So that's totally fine, and if they go active, we can just chase it away, and that helps us with this break. But maybe now if they castle, we go here, they push, we are not going to win this pawn, so we should keep that in our head. But the idea here is to play queen c2. If they go like here, we can even throw in this move, trying to get the bishop out this way, because this way it's not getting out. They may play d3, we get the bishop, just because we have to develop it. They might go here, over defending the pawn, we go here, they bring the rook to the center. We can even throw in the move. I would like to castle, but you can throw in this move, forcing g3. Now they can play this maybe, but that we can already take it. Take. It's, yeah, alright, it's back. But now the queen is hanging, so they cannot even play this move. So maybe they have to go here first, and then they can play this move. But our idea is this break. First get our queen out of the way by attacking the pawn, and then opening up our rook. And we can go attack. So that's a very nice line for us. So let's look at the symmetrical English. They will probably copy you the rest of the game. I don't know why it's glitching like this. Maybe I should refresh. Alright, I hope it does. Still doesn't want to move the pieces. Then we gotta do it slow. I'm sorry for this. This wasn't my plan as well. So they will copy you. We bring out the knight. I'm so very sorry. I don't know how we can fix this. So we castle, they castle. And here we go for this d3 idea. And why would we do that? Why wouldn't we go for the center? Because that is one of the main plans of black against our line. We want to play queen d2 and develop our bishop this way, so our knight is protected against knight e4 stuff. Because if we play this move now without the queen, then this is just GG. So they might play this move. We go up with our queen. They might go with their pawn. We go with our pawn. They might play this move. We take it. Have to take it. They take back. And now before we develop our bishop, important move, d4, d5. Because otherwise he gets in d5 and then we are a bit cramped. But now if he takes, he has an IQP, which I will tell more about in the Queen's Gambit decline. Because there we get a lot of IQP positions. And if they don't take, let's say they develop the bishop, we can even develop the bishop, no worry. If they take with the knight, same idea, we just take with the knight and the queen. Not scary, but and after they play something like rook e8, we want to take the pawn. And now, if you look at this position, every piece is developed, our rooks will come to the D and the C file, and we just have unlimited pressure on these pawns because they cannot really push forward because they will be lost, and we will have a lot of pressure on them. And we have no weaknesses, 0. So that's just a very nice game for us in symmetrical English. So don't say, oh, symmetrical, it's a boring game, because we will put a lot of pressure on these two pawns. And now let's go for this. I told you the Benoni and the King's Indian I will show you in my next video. But first we are going to look at the Queen's Gambit declined. So here we play first our knights out, he goes here, and if you want to, you can just play d4 and get into Queen's Gambit declined position. But this is also what black wants. So I recommend to move e6 here, defending the pawn. If they take, it's just bad because we get 3 pieces out, and he doesn't have center control. We will get it with d4. He trades the center pawn for a side pawn and helps us develop, so that's really bad. With e3 we also stop any d4 business, which is good. So let's see, they might develop the bishop. We develop our bishop, they castle, we castle. And what's the plan here? They play c5 because otherwise their knight will be stuck in front of the c pawn. And what's the idea here? We take the pawn in the center, and if they take back, d4. If they take, we take back. And you should see this is a mistake. Never take with the pawn, take with the knight. The knight. Because if you take with the knight, this is an IQP. It doesn't have any neighbors, so the knight is an outpost. And we will play the rest of the game. We will put pressure on this pawn. This is our idea. Bring the rooks to the TNC. If you get out the bishop, get the other bishop on a long diagonal, putting pressure to the pawn, and maybe even get this knight back. So perfect rule. Let's say this. If they take, which is bad, we take with the queen. They shouldn't trade pieces. You want to trade pieces because in an endgame this pawn will just be lost. So they should like defend the pawn. You should never take because they take back with the pawn and defend the center pawn, and we don't want to give this pawn any neighbors. So here you might even play this move, going back. So if they take, we always can go here. They might play rook to c1. There goes our plan of fianchettoing, and black kind of runs out of useful moves. Rook to e1, getting the rook active. We play rook c1. Trading is bad. We get the other knight in the center. They might go active with the bishop, which doesn't really do anything. Here we can, it kind of stops our idea of this, but we can even chase it away. And I mean, now we have more space. Now we play queen d2, and we will play rook d1 and look at the evaluation. It's not that good for white because it just, the computer always can hold things for a draw. But let me say this, if you have this position, you have so much more easy moves to play than black, and in like 9 of the 10 games we'll end up winning this pawn, and you will just play an endgame up a pawn, which is so very good, and it gives so much nice position. So I always like playing against the Queen's Gambit declined. Like I told you, the Indian games I will show you in the next video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you will play the English. Let me know in the comments if you won a game, if you maybe made a sacrifice in this opening. Tell me. Have a great day.